Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Seth Meyers, and I'm a licensed clinical psychologist who works with student health services at Mount San Antonio College. So today, what I'm going to be doing is doing a brief presentation or tutorial on how to deal with one particular type of stress, which is nervous or restless energy. So in this presentation, I'm going to share some tips and techniques about what you can do when you feel that kind of restless, nervous energy. You're at home, you don't quite know what to do, you don't really want to do anything, but you want to do something. So that's going to be the focus of this presentation today. And of course, people experience nervous or restless energy all the time, anytime, over many, many years. But this topic is never more relevant, of course, as it is when I record this in the spring of 2020 during the quarantine process, the stay-at-home orders that are in place because of the impact of the novel coronavirus. So we'll go ahead and dive in. I'm going to try to share my screen so that you can look at a few slides. I won't bore you to death with slides because I know nobody loves too much PowerPoint. So we'll go ahead and get right to it. And I found it. Here we go. Okay, good. So there you see it. I apologize that it's not incredible production values, but unfortunately, being technologically savvy is not my strength. So, okay, so you see the title right there of the presentation, Positive Ways to Deal with Nervous or Restless Energy. So we're gonna go right into it, and we're gonna look at this next slide. So what is nervous, restless energy? So here's the most important thing to understand, that when a person feels nervous or restless, what it means is overall their mood feels out of sorts. They may feel either overstimulated or understimulated, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. But in general, when a person has nervous or restless energy, they may feel that kind of low level anxiety. They may feel it like a little bit, they may feel it a lot, or they may feel it like extremely, where they feel like they need to do something. They kind of like want to jump out of their own skin. They don't really know what to do with themselves, but inside their body feels like it needs something, almost like wanting to crawl outside of your own skin. That is the most extreme end of the spectrum of nervous or restless energy. I would say the lowest, the opposite end of the spectrum, the less severe end of the spectrum of nervous restless energy is feeling kind of bored, unstimulated. So you'll see in the third point there that I make on the PowerPoint, common feelings associated with nervous or restless energy. You have to look at it first in terms of what it looks like when a person feels overstimulated, right? So here's the point. You can have two different types of nervous or restless energy. Sometimes you have nervous and restless energy, and you feel like your central nervous system is kind of like low energy. You feel blah. You're not really sure what to do. Low motivation. You don't want to do anything, right? The other type of nervous restless energy, it's a more active, overstimulated type of nervous or restless energy. So you may feel frustrated, irritable, anger. You may want to do something. You may feel prone to action, even though you don't exactly know what you want to do. So that's the most important point to remember about nervous or kind of restless energy. You can have it while you're, driving in your car. You can have it when you're sitting on your couch at home. You can have it while you're shopping for groceries at the market. Just this weird sort of hard to describe feeling, like you feel a little out of sorts and you don't really know what to do, but your mood is off, but you feel a little anxiety, a little irritation, a little anger, or even a little bit of escalated mood. Okay. So just remember, when your mood is off, when your mood isn't what clinicians call euthymic. Euthymic mood is like, yeah, I'm okay. My mood is good, normal, positive. I feel fine. I'm not really upset. I'm not really, really happy either, but I'm good. That's what we call euthymic mood. Well, here's what's important to know about when you are in a good mood, a good, like typical normal mood. It means that your central nervous system, all the components of it, are working together like a symphony, and your central nervous system is in alignment. And how you can tell is your mood feels okay, it feels fine, it feels good. That is what we call being kind of like mood regulated. And that is critical to feeling good, to feeling positive, to having motivation. So the most important point from this slide I want you all to take is there's two different types of restless nervous energy. One is when, if you think about it, your central nervous system is either unstimulated and kind of wants some stimulation, wants some excitement, wants something interesting, something novel, or it is understimulated, when your central nervous system feels almost kind of numb, as if it were a color, it would be beige, like low motivation. I don't really know if I want to do anything. I don't know what I want to do. Feeling slightly negative, okay? So let's go on to the next slide. And we are going to look at the best techniques to vent nervous energy. So what I'm about to tell you won't surprise you. The best way, if you're ever in your car, walking down the street, at the market, in your home, and you feel that weird mood, that weird physical energy that is really restless nervous energy, if you want to deal with it effectively, the number one best thing you can do is to exercise, right? So, if I'm going to be a psychologist and I'm going to tell you, what you should do if you want to feel good and be healthy and practice good, mental health regimens, exercise. Of course, that everybody knows that. But this is the most important point. When you feel restless or nervous or anxious, just ask yourself the simple question: do I want to do the one thing that I know will make me feel better, will make me feel more balanced? And what I'm telling you will make your central nervous system feel more regulated. You want to exercise. And again, this is a choice you can make. It's really about, do you want to do what will make you feel better? And certainly my hope for all of you is that you do. So, physical exercise. Here's the most important point, and you'll see on the screen I write, can you name 50 different types of physical exercise? This is the menu of possible types of exercise you have to choose from. So when I wrote this number 50, I wasn't actually focusing specifically on the only 50 types of exercise a person can get that will balance their mood and make them feel better. The point is more to realize the high number of possible things you can do, right? So for example, I may ask someone, hey, so what do you do for exercise? And they say, well, I go jogging or I go running. That's great. I then say, what else do you do? They say, no, that's really like the main thing I do, and I do it 4 days a week. For that person, that's terrific that they run as much as they do. And for someone who's not exercising at all, I would say even running one day for 5 minutes will be an improvement for you. But the point is to expand your menu of exercises, to vary your routine. So what research shows, which is really interesting, is that people who rely on a menu of different exercises, they may do 4 or 5 different exercises over the course of the month. Those people will be more consistent and will keep exercising more and longer than people who just stick to one. Because the truth is, people get bored and burned out from the same thing. So the best thing you can do, go online, go to a search engine, do a Google search for types of cardiovascular exercise, and you will see a list that is longer than you could probably imagine. There are so many things you can do. The most important point, though, is that doing a few of them, not just one, is going to be associated with the most improved mood for you, the most balanced central nervous system, okay? And then you'll see the second point, that possible exercises you can practice at home and outdoors. You'll see the point that, during quarantine and stay-at-home orders, this is like a very unusual time. So in the past, maybe you went to a gym and they have different types of classes and certainly hundreds of types of machines that you can use. During this period, you have to be more creative. So you have to think to yourself mentally, what are exercises that I can practice at home? What are exercises that I can practice outdoors? For example, at home, you can't go running. Yeah, you could run in place, but that's not going to be very gratifying. At home, you could either have a treadmill, you could do jumping jacks, sit-ups, you can do push-ups, you can do online videos, aerobics videos, cardio videos, yoga videos, Pilates videos. Everything is online these days. So there are certain activities and exercises you can do at home, but there are also exercises that you can do outdoors. So outdoors, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, you could go running, you can go rollerblading, you can go bicycling, any number of things. So just remember, when you think about, I should exercise more, exercise helps with nervous and restless energy, ask yourself, do I want to do an exercise right now that is at home or that is outdoors? And then when you make that differentiation, ask yourself which of the ones under each category you want to do. So we'll go to the next one. And the next one is just as important as the previous slide. So before, we were talking about what to do when you need cardio activity. Your body craves stimulation. Your central nervous system wants to feel activated so that it can get back to a place of baseline and feel normal. At the same time, if you're feeling restless energy, but kind of more agitated, irritated, a little bit more angry, a little bit more hyper, then what your central nervous system's telling you is that you are overactivated, and that what you would benefit from is a calming activity. So here on this slide, I show some examples: meditation, journaling, reading for pleasure, playing an instrument or listening to music, talking to a friend or family member, but not just anyone, someone who is comforting, soothing, and nurturing. So we'll go, I just have a couple more slides I want to go through with you. And the next one relates to getting organized. When you have nervous or restless energy, one of the best things you can do is to take that nervous, restless, amorphous energy and say, I'm going to channel it into something concrete, tangible, and specific. And one of the best things you can do is get organized. So engage in an organizing task. Go to your file cabinet, your closet, your bathroom, your kitchen, your car, your garage, and tackle it. By focusing your brain on a specific organizing task like that, it requires your brain to really focus. By focusing on getting organized when you kind of felt nervous or restless and didn't know what to do, by saying to yourself, I'm actually engaging in a productive activity that later I will reap the benefits from, it makes you feel an increased sense of self control. Like, yeah, I know how to handle myself. I know what to do when I feel nervous or restless. It also distracts you from negative thoughts and feelings. I want to share a funny quote that the billionaire investor Warren Buffett shared, which is this: if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. I think that's a great quote. And what it tells me is that if people are busy, it requires them to be very organized and methodical about how they spend their time. Well, when you have nervous or restless energy, you're not focused on checking something off your to-do list. You're not focused on performing or achieving. You're not thinking about your goals. You don't really know what to think about. You just know you don't really like how you feel right now. So when you get organized, you're focused, you're working on a project. And what Warren Buffett would tell you, I'm sharing with you, is that this is the best way to get things done and actually to feel better. So, okay, I just have one last slide I want to go over with you, and that has to do with making specific plans for the future. So, again, when you have restless, nervous energy, either you feel on the more bored, sort of blah, beige end of the spectrum, or you have nervous, restless energy, but you feel agitated, irritated, like you want to do something. Another thing that you can do is focus that nervous, restless energy on making plans. Now, not just any plans, specific plans for the future. Map out specific plans that give you a sense of hope and they focus your brain on something concrete. So think about an academic goal you have, a professional or work goal you have. Think about a health or fitness goal you have. Think about a social goal you may have. Maybe you want to find a romantic relationship, or you decide that you would like to make a few more friends and bring them into your life. Make a plan, but don't just say, this is what I want to do. Make your plan specific. For example, if my goal is a social goal and I want to, I feel like I'm a little isolated and I don't have as many friends as I'd like, this is my specific plan. I am going to join 1 or 2 new social activities. I am going to reach out to some of my best friends and let them know that I'm feeling a little lonely. I am going to ... You see what I'm saying? It has to be specific. You can't just make a goal in one sentence. So yeah, I want to become, let's say, a vet tech. Well, that needs a specific plan. I'm going to take these courses and I will finish my courses, I think, by this date. I am going to contact veterinary offices or clinics and ask if they are looking for volunteers or offering actual paid positions. So the point is the plan needs to be specific. This overall strategy, taking nervous or restless energy and making specific plans, it can give you a tremendous sense of hope, a tremendous sense of control over your life. And the other strategies that I've reviewed too will do the number one most important thing, which is distract you from the way you were feeling before and give you something specific to direct and channel all that energy for. So anyhow, I wish you all well. I hope that some of these techniques will be helpful, and hopefully our paths will cross in the future. Thank you.